Alright, what's up, guys? So, Hot T has uploaded a video titled Trisha Paytas. I don't know why I was like struggling to say. I ain't gonna say what I was originally gonna say because I felt like that had been rude. But I'll just go. I almost said trash Paytas. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean to say it. I'm sorry. All right, do over. We're gonna do a do-over. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another reaction video. Today, Hot T is uploading another video. Trisha Paytas. See, I almost did it. Trisha Paytas is done with Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. Okay, cool. We got it out of my system. Everything needed to be said. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. Let's see what goes down. I already kind of know somewhat of this situation because I guess yeah, Jeffree Star is facing like some more heat and backlash, and Shane Dawson, I don't really know what's going on with Shane Dawson, but anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. Guys, make sure you go subscribe to Hot T. Make sure you go subscribe to her second channel, Ray Rahimi, and her third channel, Build Your Pocket. And yeah, it's her like business channel. So yeah, go subscribe to it. Go show it some love. But in the meantime, let's get into this video. Coming out. Let me know if you want to follow up video. I'm down for any
Hey
video.
guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about why Trisha Paytas is afraid of Jeffree Star and Hair by Jay.
Oh yeah.
She was literally sobbing and crying in the video.
Keemstar talked about this.
And it's crazy, you guys. There's a lot to cover, so buckle up and grab a snack. Before we dive in, but make sure to subscribe and turn post notifications on. It really helps out this channel. And also, don't mind the poor audio quality and my very nasally voice. I'm so sorry. Let's get into the tea. So let's start with a quick recap for context. Hopefully it's quick. Last year, Trisha went on a trip around Valentine's Day with Jeffree and his friends to Vegas. Apparently, things didn't go very well for her and she left early. Now, why did she leave early, you may ask? Allegedly, Jeffree, his makeup, and his hair guy were talking a lot of mean and horrible things behind Trisha's back. Things like her hair and her skin, her weight, and about how much money she makes and stuff like that. Just like really mean and nasty comments. A longtime friend of Jeffree, Tab, posted a video explaining why he does no longer support Jeffree and talked about the Vegas trip. There are also DMs between Tab and Trisha that show Trisha isn't making this up and something really happened on that trip. Here are the DMs. And while this was happening, it was just before Dramageddon 3, right before people were looking more in depth about Shane and Jeffree. So people were questioning, why didn't Shane say something at the time? Why didn't he stick up for Trisha since they've known each other for so long? And also, they've said multiple times how much they care about one another. I think this is one of the reasons.
Sound like that's that fake friend stuff. If if there's somebody that I know and they talking trash about one of my friends, I'm just gonna be like, I don't condone or support what you're saying, so don't look at me for support. I'm all like, yeah, and I'm like, that's between, I'm all like, my thing is like, how come you ain't saying this to their face? Like, you need to go say this to their face instead of running to me, telling me, like, what am I supposed to do? All I'm going to do is go back and tell them, like, hey, this person was talking all this trash and crap about you, so just saying. I'm all like, if, like, you just don't come to me talking to me about people that I care for. I'm all like, that's between y'all. That ain't between me, so, like, you go over there and confront them about whatever problems you got, but anyways.
Start to speculate Shane's character. Right afterwards, he got into so much hot water. It really spiraled into something nobody was expecting. Mind you, Trisha denied this entire thing at first, but later on, she confirmed that it was real and it happened.
Man,
she
Jeffree
said she
Star
doesn't
looked
want
like
to
a
support
mannequin.
him, and
He
he
didn't look
tried to
real.
apologize. Even recently, she supported Jeffree on an episode of Frenemies and said that she wouldn't mind being friends with him again. So how do we end up here? Trisha shared that in a recent video, Hair by Jay overcharged her and she didn't like the result at the end. Trisha shared her experience and how bad she felt after it, and then there was an Instagram live by that hairstylist where he talked about how she should be grateful that Jeffree took her on a trip for free. Jay also said that they did in fact talk about her behind her back. That guy was very mean, by the way. He kept on bullying her about her weight and her hair and her skin, and also they talked
that's messed up. I'm like, that's like, I guess I had to be on Trisha Paytas' side this time. I'm like, yeah, I ain't with that. I'm not like I'm like, if you got, my thing is like, what are you talking behind her back about it for? Go confront her. I mean, yeah, obviously it's like, you confront a person like that face to face and start saying some stuff that you just gonna be rude. But I think that's when Trisha Paytas, like, that's when you gotta develop like that angry black woman bone, and you just gotta get the swinging on somebody. When they go at you, approaching you like that, you gotta get the swinging on them. Put them in some like wrestling hold and don't let go until they call the cops. So I'm just saying, like, I just think like people like that, you shouldn't be cool with. They shouldn't have like a platform to begin with. But yeah, I'm like, you should not be out here talking about people's weight or any other problems about it. I'm like, that is on them. I'm like, you let them worry about that. But that ain't got, like, it has nothing to do with you. So
apparently
anyways,
Trisha not having a lot of money, and as much money as she says, or about her financial situation in general. Though this past year, I think sis really worked her butt off with OnlyFans. I think it's safe to say Trisha has a decent amount of money
everybody
now,
making
so
bank from OnlyFans.
I mean, just bought a house. Girl has secured the big for sure. Say what you want for Trisha, she's done so many horrible things on the internet and people dislike her for valid reasons, but that's a low blow from him to be talking about her like that.
Yeah.
Here's a clip from the Instagram live and Trisha's reaction to it.
Get your funeral as your mother because she's your mother. And she feels obligated that she should go to jail.
Like, people like him be like legitimate drama queens. Like, bro, like, turn your camera off and go somewhere, bro. Like, you're like, she should go to jail. She should do like a drama. I'm like, bro, go sit down somewhere.
Such waste to this world for us to have to do. That's like that is what's fucking consumed. Not even the vultures want.
That was the most fakest laugh ever. You could tell that person is all like, yeah, I ain't here for all of that. I'm here for whatever reason she's there for. But she's like, yeah, because that wasn't really all that funny. Like, I don't even want to be here right now. But
again, this man's name is Hair by Jay. I don't know his legal name. I've obviously sold him and it's under the name Jesus. He's Jeffree Star's friend and hairstylist that travels with him. That's all the information I'm going to give out. I'm not going to try and dox him. This is the public knowledge. I can't call the cops until he comes back. And like I said, we have more guards that are coming to just watch and look out. I'm putting this out here because I'm really scared. I'm like really scared. I've actually never had so much anxiety over this. Like, I'm shaking about it. So I just want that out.
Trisha made a response video.
So I'm all like, no, I'm like, my thing is just like, with people like them, they're not going to do no real damage. So I'm like, but you can. If they're going to come at you with like action talking about, oh, I'm going to do something to you. That's when you just go out, get you a baseball bat, take a picture of it, and I'm all like, and then when you come to my house, this is going to be the last thing you see. Me holding this baseball bat in the most Babe Ruth position ever, and I'm swinging on you. So that's what I'm like, you have to, people like that, where they're acting crazy towards you for no reason, like how that guy was acting like a drama queen. I'm like, okay, well, it's like, if you know where I live and you're going to say you're going to come here being about action, I'm like, all right, I'm going to be about that action too, but I'm going to be a little bit more about it. So I suggest you bring a weapon of your choice, because I'm telling y'all right now, I got a weapon here. And I'm like, that stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, I just think people, when they carry on like that, it's like, if he's threatening you or saying like, if it gets you to that point where you got to call security, I'm like, you need to protect yourself. So
her reaction on Instagram. She also tweeted at Jeffree, and they went back and forth for a bit. And here is Jeffree's tweet. I just landed back in LA and there's fires happening. It's 89 degrees outside and windy, and somehow I'm being dragged in someone else's mess. Turn the plane right back around. Bye. I have personally apologized to Trisha Paytas several times last year about Vegas, and she never responded, which is her right. I respected it, and what happened is between us. Don't drag me into new drama. Not interested. What someone else says does not represent me. One user said, I feel like this should all be handled off social media, instead of calling out people and accusing folks. This social media is a hot mess these days. Do people not pick up a phone anymore?
Nope.
No. Jeffree replies saying, tired, got no response, and now here we are, not interested. Well, another user said, imagine if we didn't have social media and no one would know what others did or thought. Jeffree replies saying, exactly. I've already said my piece to her, and if she ever wants to call or text me back, she will. What Jay said in live was disgusting and does not reflect how I've ever felt. I shouldn't have to say that, but I'm screaming it. Trisha tweets, if you didn't want to be involved in the drama, why is he speaking your name in the video on your behalf? Confirming all the horrid shit you guys said about me. I have been cool, but he is speaking on your behalf multiple times in all his feeds. Jeffree replies to him saying, you've ignored all my messages and texts for months, yet want to have an internet circus with an audience? No thank you. Love you girl, you can call me or text me anytime. Even Ethan Klein chimed in and showed support to Trisha. Him and Ethan also talked about this situation on their podcast After Dark. Both of them showed support for Trisha and said that these mean comments are just a low blow and she doesn't deserve them. Ethan did mention that Trisha is quite disliked and there are things that people could criticize her on, but her weight, her skin, and her hair are just not it, and I completely agree. Ethan says, I'm just here to support Trisha against these cruel and sadistic And from the tweets we just read, Jeffree claims he was in Wyoming and didn't even know about that lie from his hairstylist. He said he has tried to apologize to Trisha multiple times, but she didn't respond. And Jeffree even said that he is open to talk to her in private and not over social media. Yeah, right. Jeffree also denied saying anything negative, but he also says he apologized a long time ago, so which one is it? Oh, and by the way, when he was in Wyoming, the video he posted about the Kanye rumors was 2 days ago, after the hairstylist's Instagram live. And Hair by Jay was in Jeffree's video, so he must have known about this prior to going back to LA. Shane and Ryland continue to support Jeffree openly, which is shady towards Trisha since she's been friends with him and loyal. Trisha also made another video where she talked about how betrayed she feels because Shane and Ryland continue to publicly support Jeffree.
And now, like, looking back, I see, like, he had told me originally that he also was scared of Jeffree and was slowly distancing himself from him. And then I see him on The Sip, Ryland's podcast, not once, but twice, as recent as last week, them just gushing over him and praising him. When Jeffree Star, in my opinion, is a really nasty, vile person.
Which is very shady since she's been their friend for so long. Especially to Shane, she's known him for 10 years or so. Meanwhile, Jeffree has been in his life for around 2 to 3 years.
Writing me a whole long thing in here if you want to talk, but also if you just want to come over, Postmates, and like, let's just forget the whole thing. Forget the whole thing. This is something that traumatized me for a full year, and Shane and Ryland knew about it 2 days after this happened. It was traumatizing. I was shaking my...
Yeah, the thing is, Trisha throughout the whole Dramageddon 3 last year, she stood by Shane. She never once turned her back on him, even when he was taking the most heat.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I'm saying, that fake friend stuff. I'm like, dog, you gotta drop people like that.
Trisha even recently in a Frenemies episode talked about how excited she is for Shane's comeback, and some people speculated that he's coming out of the shadows real soon, although we've seen him post almost all the time on Instagram for the past 2 months. He's been selling merch and she showed up in Ryland's podcast. We know Shane has been testing the waters for a while. And now, in her second video about the whole situation, she's saying that she feels betrayed and she's really hurt by Shane not believing her last February when everything happened. She also said that she unfollowed both Shane and Ryland and blocked them as well. And that's why it seemed like they unfollowed her. And some even said that this was them taking Jeffree's side, but it was actually because Trisha didn't want to put up with them and for her own sake.
The final thing, the reason I wanted to make this whole video is because they did not unfollow me. Ryland and Shane did not unfollow me. I unfollowed them and then I blocked them because it was something I just needed to do for me, for my own peace of like mind.
Trisha continued to talk about how bad and nasty Jeffree is and how she was scared to talk when everything went down, but later she felt more comfortable talking about it. Trisha also said that she thinks...
I'm like, that's what I'm like, if a social media influencer, it's like, if they talk on you, it's like, don't be scared to talk about it. You know, like, it's like, if you have, my thing is, like, if you have evidence to show that they were out here doing some shady stuff, talk about it. Don't be scared. I'm like, that man ain't gonna do nothing to you, so, yeah, talk on that stuff. Unless that man's, like, out here threatening people's lives, and then, okay, then, you know, be a little bit cautious with it, but... yeah, if that man ain't gonna do no real harm to you, talk about whatever you feel like talking about. So, it's like, this stuff, whenever it happened, it should have been talked about right then and there, so...
Shane has totally changed in her eyes, and that the Shane that she once knew wouldn't respond to her like that. She said, "I guess I just didn't want to believe Jeffree said these things."
But what really triggered me more than anything today, and it's why I will no longer support Shane, and I stand by it, and it's the hardest pill to swallow, is because we have been friends for over 12 years. And he told me today, "Oh, I guess I just wanted to believe the stuff you said about that Jeffree said about you wasn't true."
Trisha calls out Jeffree and the people who talks badly about her for being fake and vile, and she says that she is by no means perfect, but she would never talk about someone's drug issues or appearance in that way. Also, Trisha mentioned the Gabby Hanna situation, and apparently the close friend who told Gabby that Trisha had herpes, which Trisha said was false, and apparently that person was Shane. Again, think whatever you want to think about Trisha. You all know she ain't our favorite on this channel, but those actions coming from Shane
that's messed
are
up.
just horrible. Like, how are you going to be this shady and awful towards the one person that showed you so much support and loyalty? Trisha talks about how sick it made her feel when both Ryland and Shane would show constant support for Jeffree. Like, last week, Ryland had Jeffree on the phone talking about the Kanye scandal, and Trisha said that it made her feel really bad, the non-stop gushing over Jeffree. She also mentioned that she was really excited for Shane's new project that's coming soon, and that she wanted to be a part of it, but due to his behavior towards her, she doesn't think that she's going to.
I know Shane's gonna do his big project coming up, and he's probably gonna skyrocket too. He's super talented, and I always wanted to be there for him because I know he's gonna make this amazing comeback. But
my thing is, like, it's hard to let go of, you know, people that you've known for some time. Like, I've been through it. You know, it happens, and it's gonna be hard. You're gonna cry. You're gonna shed tears. Like, literally, you're gonna feel like in the worst position in your life. But I feel like that it's a growing process at the same time. Like, you will grow from it. So don't think for a second, like, the pain that you're feeling is gonna be forever. That pain ain't gonna be forever. It's like, eventually, you know, it's gonna go away, and you're gonna be in a much more, like, better standings in life. So
I've known for like 12 years has changed.
This situation is just a mess. Even Trisha, of all people, doesn't deserve this. What do you guys think about it? Is Shane brainwashed by Jeffree, or is he just doing all of this for money because they are very intertwined? Is Trisha overreacting?
I was about to say, I'm like, he was probably hanging out with Trisha, so, like, you know, wasn't really making a whole lot, but he knows hanging out with Jeffree Star is gonna make him some bank. So
also, since now we know Shane is coming out with his project really soon, what do you think it is? How do you feel about that? We've talked about his possible docuseries on himself, or maybe his horror movie he mentioned before all the scandals happened. So those could all be possibilities. Let me know how you feel in the comments down below. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I post new videos every single week. Alright, bye.
It's pretty good. I was getting kind of worried. I was like, I hadn't seen a hot tea video in a long time, so I was like, I messaged her, and I was just all like, hey, I was like, I think I said, is everything okay or something like that? I don't know. But anyways, or just more so just checking to see if everything was cool. But yeah, I was all like, dang, I hadn't seen the video. I'm all like, bro, what's going on here? I'm like, no, don't, please don't disappear. I'm like, I need me a hot tea video. I need that soothing, like, woman version of a Morgan Freeman voice. I'm like, I need that in my life. So anyways, but yeah, it's good to see hot tea is posting and things. But yeah, I think Trisha Paytas is like, you need to cut these people off completely. Whatever friends that you got supporting you, like, stick with them. Like, you know, you got Ethan and his wife Hila, so yeah, go stick with them. That's all you need to worry about. But anyways, in the meantime, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Hot Tea. Her second channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.